The next great battlefield isn't on land, sea, or air. It's in space. Right now, Russia, China, and the United States are locked in a high-stakes race, unleashing hypersonic missiles, powerful lasers, and advanced satellite weapons. But the US has made a bold, game-changing move, testing a new hypersonic weapon that has stunned the world. Is this the ultimate defense strategy, or are we on the brink of a new space arms race? Let's dive into how this cutting-edge technology is reshaping the balance of power in space. The new battlefield, space supremacy. The 21st century has transformed the nature of global conflicts, moving beyond traditional battlefields to a new, unpredictable domain, space. Nations are no longer just vying for control over land, sea, and air. Instead, the real competition is playing out hundreds of miles above our heads, where satellites, hypersonic missiles, and advanced defense systems dictate power. With space technology evolving at a rapid pace, the stakes are higher than ever, and the race to dominate this domain is intensifying. The United States, Russia, and China are leading the charge, investing billions to develop cutting-edge technology that can tip the balance of power in their favor. This isn't just about military might. It's about maintaining control over critical infrastructure that supports everything from communication to national defense. As tensions rise, the question isn't if a conflict in space will happen, but when, and which nation will emerge victorious. Understanding this race is crucial, as the decisions made today will shape the security of tomorrow. The competition in space isn't just about who has the most satellites or the fastest rockets. It's about strategic dominance. Whoever controls space can control the flow of information, disrupt enemy communications, and gain a significant advantage in times of conflict. For years, the US held a technological edge, but that supremacy is now being challenged by rivals determined to close the gap. Russia and China have ramped up their space programs, unveiling weapons and systems designed specifically to counter US capabilities. This new era of competition is reminiscent of the Cold War, but with far more sophisticated tools at play. It's a high-stakes game of chess, with every move closely watched and every development potentially shifting the balance of power. Space has become the ultimate high ground, and the battle for it is only getting fiercer. The importance of space-based assets cannot be overstated. From global positioning systems, GPS, that guide everything from commercial flights to military drones, to weather satellites that help predict natural disasters, the world relies heavily on what happens above our atmosphere. This dependency has made satellites prime targets for adversaries looking to disrupt crucial operations. For the US, protecting these assets is a matter of national security, but doing so is becoming increasingly challenging. With each passing year, the technology to detect, track, and destroy satellites becomes more advanced, forcing nations to innovate constantly. The race is no longer just about building the biggest rockets. It's about crafting systems that can outsmart, outmaneuver, and outlast the competition. The stakes are higher than ever because a single failure in space could have catastrophic consequences on Earth. Imagine a scenario where communication networks go down, GPS systems fail, or surveillance capabilities are blinded. Such disruptions would cripple not only military operations, but also everyday activities that billions of people depend on. The potential for chaos is immense, and that's why the race to secure space dominance has become a top priority for global powers. But this isn't just a technological race, it's a strategic one. Every satellite launched, every missile tested, and every defense system deployed sends a message, signaling strength, capability, and readiness. For the United States, maintaining its position in space is about more than just defense. It's about preserving global order. As the leading technological power, the US has long set the standard for space exploration and security. But with rising competition, there's an urgent need to innovate faster, think smarter, and stay one step ahead of rivals. It's not just Russia and China that are upping their game. Smaller nations and even private companies are entering the fray, making the landscape more crowded and complex. Navigating this new era requires a delicate balance of technological prowess, strategic alliances, and robust defense policies. The idea of space dominance may seem like science fiction, but it's rapidly becoming a reality. Nations are investing in technologies that would have been unimaginable just a decade ago. Hypersonic missiles, AI-driven satellites, and space-based lasers are no longer the stuff of movies. They're tools that could decide the outcome of future conflicts. And as these developments unfold, the world watches with bated breath, knowing that the outcome of this race will determine much more than just who controls space. It will shape the future of global security, economic stability, and technological progress for decades to come. The invisible threat: Russia and China's space ambitions. Russia and China are not just observers in the new space race, they are formidable competitors with ambitions to challenge U.S. supremacy. For years, these nations have been quietly building their capabilities, investing in technologies designed to disrupt and dominate. From hypersonic missiles to electronic warfare systems, Russia and China are developing weapons that can cripple satellites and disrupt communication networks. Their strategies are clear: to challenge U.S. dominance by creating a new set of rules in space. The world is witnessing the emergence of a new kind of warfare, one where traditional boundaries no longer exist, and the front lines are invisible. Hypersonic missiles have been a game changer for Russia and China, giving them the ability to strike faster and more unpredictably than ever before. These missiles can travel at speeds greater than 5 times the speed of sound, making them incredibly difficult to intercept. Unlike traditional ballistic missiles, hypersonic weapons can change course mid-flight, evading defense systems and hitting targets with precision. This technological leap has forced the U.S. to rethink its strategies as it seeks to counter these threats and maintain its edge. But it's not just about speed, it's about the element of surprise. Hypersonic missiles can strike without warning, turning the tide of battle in seconds. China's ambitions in space extend beyond just missiles. The nation has been actively developing electronic warfare systems capable of disrupting satellite operations. These systems can jam signals, scramble communications, and even disable satellites without a single shot being fired. This kind of warfare is less about brute force and more about strategic disruption, aiming to weaken an opponent's defenses before they even realize what's happening. China's investment in these technologies is a clear indication that it sees space as the next frontier for asserting its global influence. The goal is not just to compete, but to dominate, ensuring that in any future conflict, China holds the upper hand. Russia, too, has been making significant strides in space technology, focusing on anti-satellite weapons and hypersonic systems. The deployment of the Kinjal hypersonic missile during the Ukraine conflict sent a powerful message to the world. Russia is ready and willing to use its advanced weapons in combat. This demonstration wasn't just about showcasing power, it was a warning to other nations that Russia has the capability to bypass traditional defense systems. By investing in these cutting-edge technologies, Russia aims to deter adversaries and establish itself as a dominant force in space. The tactics employed by Russia and China are not just about developing new weapons, they're about changing the rules of engagement. By focusing on electronic warfare, cyber capabilities, and hypersonic missiles, they are creating a multi-layered threat that challenges the traditional notions of defense. It's a strategy designed to keep adversaries guessing, forcing them to prepare for threats that can come from anywhere, at any time. This unpredictability is what makes the new space race so dangerous, as it requires nations to be constantly vigilant and ready to respond at a moment's notice. As Russia and China continue to push the boundaries of what's possible, the world is entering uncharted territory. The development of these advanced weapons has sparked a new kind of arms race, one that is not limited to any single domain. It's a race that involves air, land, sea, and now space. The stakes are incredibly high, and the consequences of losing this race could be catastrophic. For the U.S., staying ahead means investing in innovation, strengthening alliances, and preparing for a future where space is not just the final frontier, but the most crucial battleground of all. Unleashing hypersonic power, Russia's Kinjal. The deployment of Russia's Kinjal hypersonic missile marked a turning point in modern warfare. Capable of traveling at speeds exceeding Mach 5, The Kinjal is designed to evade traditional missile defense systems, making it a formidable weapon on the battlefield. When Russia used this missile in the Ukraine conflict, it wasn't just about achieving a tactical victory, it was about sending a message. The Kinjal's speed and agility mean that it can strike targets with little to no warning, leaving adversaries with minimal time to react. This level of capability has forced military strategists around the world to rethink their approaches to defense. Unlike conventional ballistic missiles, the Kinjal can be launched from aircraft, allowing it to cover greater distances and strike from unexpected angles. This versatility makes it a valuable asset for Russia, as it can be deployed quickly and unpredictably. The missile's ability to maneuver mid-flight also means that it can evade interception, making it nearly impossible for current defense systems to stop it. This has created a new challenge for nations that rely on traditional missile defense networks, as they must now develop new technologies to counter hypersonic threats. The Kinjal's use in Ukraine was not just a demonstration of power, it was a test of the weapon's real-world effectiveness. By deploying the missile in a live combat scenario, Russia showcased its confidence in the Kinjal's capabilities. This move has raised concerns among military experts worldwide, as it indicates that hypersonic weapons are not just a future threat, they are a present reality. The success of the Kinjal has accelerated efforts in the US and other countries to develop their own hypersonic systems, as they seek to close the gap and regain strategic advantage. For Russia, the Kinjal represents more than just a weapon. It's a symbol of technological prowess. By leading the way in hypersonic development, Russia aims to position itself as a global leader in military innovation. The Kinjal is part of a broader strategy to showcase Russia's ability to disrupt traditional defense systems, forcing adversaries to adapt to a new kind of warfare. This shift has significant implications for global security as it changes the dynamics of power and deterrence on the international stage. The rapid advancement of hypersonic technology has created an arms race, with nations rushing to develop systems that can match or surpass the Kinjal's capabilities. For the United States, this means investing in research and development to create countermeasures that can detect, track, and intercept hypersonic missiles. But developing these technologies is no easy task. Hypersonic missiles operate in a different flight regime than traditional weapons, making them harder to detect and intercept. Overcoming these challenges will require a new approach to missile defense, one that can adapt to the unique characteristics of hypersonic threats. The introduction of hypersonic weapons like the Kinjal has fundamentally altered the landscape of modern warfare. It has forced military planners to consider scenarios that were previously unthinkable, where traditional defenses are no longer sufficient. As more nations develop hypersonic capabilities, the risk of escalation increases, making it essential for global powers to establish new frameworks for managing these threats. The Kinjal is a reminder that the future of warfare is already here, and the world must be prepared for what comes next. China's hypersonic leap, the FOBs advantage. China's rapid advancements in hypersonic technology have sent shockwaves across the globe, but it's their development of the Fractional Orbital Bombardment System, FOBs, that truly stands out. Unlike traditional missiles, FOBs can orbit the Earth before striking its target, making it incredibly difficult to predict and defend against. This system can remain in orbit, patiently waiting for the perfect moment to drop down on its target at astonishing speeds. It's a revolutionary approach that has changed the dynamics of space warfare, adding a new layer of unpredictability to the already complex world of missile defense. FOBs is more than just a weapon, it's a strategic game changer. Traditional missile defense systems are designed to detect and intercept threats along predictable trajectories, but FOBs can approach from any direction. This unpredictability makes it difficult for adversaries to anticipate where and when the missile will strike, providing China with a significant tactical advantage. The ability to evade early detection means that even the most advanced defense networks struggle to respond in time. This has raised serious concerns in the US and among its allies as they work to develop countermeasures to this new kind of threat. What makes FOBs particularly dangerous is its speed. Traveling at Mach 27 times the speed of sound, it can reach its target in mere minutes, leaving little time for reaction. This capability has changed the way military strategists think about defense, as they now need systems that can respond instantly to incoming threats. Traditional methods of tracking and interception simply aren't fast enough, and this has led to an urgent push for new technologies that can keep pace with the speed of hypersonic weapons. The world is witnessing a race against time as nations scramble to develop the next generation of defense systems. China's decision to invest in FOBs reflects a broader strategy of asserting dominance in space. For years, the U.S. has maintained a strategic edge with its satellite networks and missile defense systems. But China's advancements threaten to disrupt this balance. By developing weapons that can bypass traditional defenses, China is positioning itself as a formidable competitor on the global stage. This is not just about military might, it's about signaling to the world that China is capable of leading in the most advanced and challenging domains of warfare. The implications of FOBs extend beyond immediate military applications. By mastering this technology, China is demonstrating its ability to integrate space-based assets into its broader defense strategy. This is a clear indication that future conflicts may involve not just ground forces and air power, but a coordinated effort across multiple domains, including space. The success of FOBs could pave the way for more sophisticated space-based weapons as China continues to explore new ways to leverage its technological capabilities. This raises critical questions about the future of warfare and how nations will navigate the challenges of defending against threats from above. As nations around the world react to China's hypersonic leap, the race to develop countermeasures is heating up. The United States and its allies are investing heavily in research and development, seeking to build systems that can detect and neutralize hypersonic threats before they reach their targets. But the challenge is immense. With FOBs capable of striking from anywhere, at any time, defense planners must rethink their entire approach to missile defense. This is a new kind of warfare, and it will require new solutions that may very well shape the future of global security for decades to come. The U.S. response, a new strategy in space defense. The United States has always been at the forefront of military innovation, and its response to emerging hypersonic threats is no different. Recognizing the limitations of traditional defense systems, the U.S. has embarked on an ambitious strategy to create a new kind of space defense. This approach involves the deployment of smaller, more agile satellites, which work together as a network to monitor and respond to threats. By decentralizing its assets, the U.S. aims to create a resilient system that can adapt and recover, even if individual satellites are targeted. This shift in strategy marks a departure from the past, where defense systems relied heavily on a few large, expensive satellites. The new approach is about flexibility and redundancy, ensuring that no single point of failure can cripple the network. Each satellite in this constellation is equipped with advanced sensors and AI-powered tracking systems, capable of detecting even the most elusive hypersonic missiles. By working in unison, these satellites create a comprehensive web of surveillance, making it much harder for adversaries to launch surprise attacks. The U.S. Space Development Agency, SDA, is leading this initiative, partnering with industry giants like L3Harris Technologies and Northrop Grumman. Together, they are building a new space architecture designed to counter the evolving threats posed by hypersonic and anti-satellite weapons. This project represents a significant investment in the future of national defense, with billions of dollars being poured into research, development, and deployment. The goal is clear: to ensure that the U.S. retains its strategic advantage in space, even as new challenges emerge. One of the key advantages of this new strategy is its scalability. As technology evolves, new satellites can be added to the network, enhancing its capabilities without the need for a complete overhaul. This modular approach means that the U.S. can stay ahead of its rivals, constantly upgrading its defenses as new threats are identified. It's a dynamic system designed to adapt to the fast-paced world of space warfare, where the situation can change in an instant. This flexibility is crucial, as it allows the U.S. to respond to emerging threats more effectively than ever before. The new network of satellites is not just about defense, it's also about deterrence. By creating a system that can detect and track hypersonic missiles, the U.S. is sending a clear message to its adversaries. Any attack will be met with a swift and decisive response. This is a key aspect of modern military strategy, where the ability to anticipate and neutralize threats is just as important as having the firepower to retaliate. The U.S. strategy is not just about building stronger weapons, it's about building smarter systems that can outthink and outmaneuver the competition. As the U.S. continues to develop its space defense strategy, it's clear that this is just the beginning. The world is entering a new era of warfare, where the lines between traditional and non-traditional domains are becoming increasingly blurred. Space is no longer just a frontier for exploration. It's a battleground where the future of global security will be decided. The U.S. is determined to lead this new era, but it will need to innovate, collaborate, and adapt to stay ahead of the competition. The stakes are high, and the race is far from over. The race for space dominance is just beginning, and the stakes are only getting higher. Want to stay updated on the latest in advanced military tech? Make sure to subscribe and don't miss our next video. Click on the screen to dive deeper into the cutting-edge weapons shaping the future. See you there!